Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. Today I will review the following papers in this presentation. So since the pandemic began, many employees shifted to working from home, and so here authors they conducted a experiment based on the security and privacy challenges and threats people experience while working from home. Authors interviewed 24 participants asking about their security and privacy concerns and also their overall concerns. So things like employees they enjoyed while working from home and also things they were uncomfortable with. And results showed that many participants experienced or faced challenges, threats, and potential threats associated with technological, human, organizational, and environmental dimensions. And authors also found two threat models. So one being employers' assets being at stake, and the other one being employees' privacy being compromised. And authors believe insights about such issues can lead to better support for employees and possibly reduce cyber attacks. So over the years, and because of the pandemic, educational institutions turned to remote learning. And with the remote learning, while conducting online exams, institutions they implemented the online proctoring services. And authors proceeded with this research to explore the security and privacy perceptions of students while being proctored online. Authors mainly focused on the three questions. So, students' perceptions and understandings of online proctoring services, and students' privacy concerns regarding the use of online proctoring software, and students' security concerns regarding the use of online proctoring software. So, 102 participants were recruited, and a survey was held online to evaluate such concerns. Analysis of the reviews revealed that a few privacy concerns, including providing personal identifiable information to verify student identities and live proctor viewing webcam, local network monitoring, and skin sharing. Towards the end, authors suggested that institutions and instructors both expand students' choices. This can be achieved by developing an alternate form of student assessment which will tackle privacy concerns and reduce future reliance on online proctoring services. Video calls became the norms of remote communication over the years, and if participants are not careful while on calls, they may reveal sensitive information to others. So, this paper yields awareness among people and talks about risks of video conferences. It also evaluates effective mitigation techniques that can automatically protect users while on call. So framework used in different setting by human subjects. These were done to detect keystrokes and two experiments were conducted in two settings. One of them was the lab setting and the other was the home setting. In the lab setting, the variables were controlled, so like what type of devices and keyboards, webcams will be used. They were fixed, and at home setting it was more realistic setting, so nothing was controlled. And towards the end, authors talk about mitigation techniques, which includes blurring, pixelation, and frame skipping. SRSs are being used as a means of biometric authentication or identification mechanism. So this paper focuses on the comprehensive and systematic study on adversarial attack on such systems. Authors came up with an attack named Fake Bob. So they implemented this to craft adversarial attack, and all the existing methods they seemed useless against Fake Bob. Authors also came up with 40 attack scenarios to understand the security weaknesses in the practical black box setting. So they ran their tests on TalentedSoft and Microsoft Azure SRS. And while conducting the experiment, they addressed two challenges. So one of them was crafting adversarial attack samples less imperceptible, and making attack more practical. And towards the end, they said a more robust defense mechanism needs to be introduced. So mechanisms exist to encourage users to create stronger passwords, including composition requirements, block lists, and neural network-driven minimum strength requirements. So to conduct experiments on a more stronger password, authors recruited 5,099 participants from Mechanical Turk, and they were even paid. And the age range was between 18 to 81. And a variety of experiments were done on different strength parameters of passwords. So block list composition, requirement for minimum strength policies, minimum strength and minimum length, block list versus minimum strength, and etc. And results from successive experiments led to concrete recommendation for privacy policy configuration to produce good balance of security and usability. Authors suggested that they found out that character class requirement should be avoided because users find them annoying, and also because they do not provide substantial benefits. And they also came up with minimum strength policies. This increases resilience to offline attacks, and this also without degrading usability. So certificate authorities play a crucial role in modern web security by providing a scalable solution for identity verification. So we should be careful which CAs to trust, and authors approached the problem by creating FIDs, and they also found it difficult to identify the owner. So they proceeded by correctly evaluating whether FIDs can detect ownership, and they also found that many CA controls had bug problems. And initially, authors began their investigation by collecting 2.9 billion certificates available, uh, trusted by Google, Chrome, or Apple. But even with that data, um, there were limitation of the fights because there were little data to evaluate accuracy. And FIDs can detect inconsistencies, but it is not a long-term solution. So high precision, but low recall. So authors hopes their FIDs will shed light to the poor state of affairs on such CAs. And authors also recommended having structured common CA database, CCADB, and increase intermediate restrictions. So this will aid users choosing certificate authorities correctly. So from the papers we reviewed, we can see that many of them involved using of third-party applications. So in the paper where working from home user, they also had to use video calling softwares, and they even had to share information with strangers. And while taking exams, online proctoring services, a third-party application was implemented. And also for video conferences, we saw that it can be the user's private data can be exploited just by looking at the body gestures while on video calls. And we can also see how easily SRSs can be exploited, and then it is required that we implement a strong defense mechanism. Creating stronger password and choosing which CAs to trust is a hard choice. So we'll insights about a strong passwords mechanism and CA controls can aid users in choosing which ones to trust.